Ladies and gentlemen, we are live tonight, and I can assure you that tonight on Sportswire Radio, we aren't going to be talking about the old adage of kids don't try this at home. We're going to be talking about something a little bit more upbeat, a little bit more celebratory, and a little bit of something that's going to very well change the face of our wrestling community as we know it. And to talk about that here with us is a man that is no stranger, not only to our platform, but to many other great promotions like WCE, Wrestling Championship Entertainment, where he holds that interstate championship once again. He is a part of the foundation in the IMF. We're going to talk about them, I have no doubt, later on in the evening because they've got a show this weekend where he is going to be a part of a match that could be where he takes a second belt in WC. Maybe they should just rename all the championships to him. But he's also going to talk about something that he's been planning for a very, very long time. That if you're a fan of this platform, you're in any other promotion, you're a wrestler out there, you're going to want to tune into this one because I can assure you, this is not going to be what you saw last night. This isn't going to be where you're going to have a lecture and a sermon. This is going to be something that I can assure you will really be about a term that we use. But I'm going to keep that clue in the back of my pocket for a few minutes. But I'm going to introduce our guest tonight. But in many ways, he's not just a guest, he's almost one of our own. And in many ways, he's family here to Sportswire Radio because we've had him on here so many times over the past nearly 2 years and what this man has meant to the community, what this man has meant to this sport, what he has done by giving his body, his blood, sweat, and tears every time he goes out there. He has been doing that for over 15 years. You have seen him in different states like Indiana, Iowa, Wisconsin. He has been a part of a community once upon a time in a small world that a few friends of Sportswire Radio recently and have become pretty notable in their own right. Ooh, I don't know. The name Rad Dad Radley Belmont ring a bell? And how about our own version of Dave Meltzer and our backyard wrestling ambassador, Copper Dragon, Mr. Seven Star, Mr. Ratings himself? He kind of, in a way, has a tie to that, but I think what he's about to say in many ways, for those that are listening and watching on all Sportswire Radio platforms, is going to take things to the next level, kind of like how Mr. Jovi was tied to those two individuals in the GBWYN once upon a time. I could go on
GBYWN, but close.
I could go on and on. I might need an OBGYN after what I had last night on Sportswire Radio. I don't think I would qualify for that, but certainly maybe some of the wrestlers that were wrestling in that company that started with the W might need that. But the point is, I'm not here to do stand-up comedy. I'm not here to do a roast of Sean Jovi. Nikki Glazer did her own version of that with Tom Brady. But I am going to introduce our man. He is certainly our resident rock star. He is Sportswire Radio's rock star. He's the Foundation's rock star. But most importantly, he is this sports rock star. And John Bon Jovi has nothing on him. And as a matter of fact, John Bon Jovi has a lot less hair than him even these days. So I'm going to give him that introduction that I know he's waiting for. I'm waiting for because I didn't really get a chance to do it last night, even though I had a guest on. Yes, I had a guest on after last night's train wreck with a couple of different wrestlers that probably shouldn't be anywhere near a ring, and maybe they should get a doctor and maybe a psychiatrist and a shrink and everything else in between, and maybe be hit with a phone book to tell them that don't go back out there anytime soon. But I am now going to give him that introduction that he has been waiting for and he deserves, so we can get to that announcement that is going to shake the landscape of our sport as we know it.
Yeah.
So with that, wait for it. Further ado, here on the Sport Report, Bon number one cable sports show, the reigning, defending WCE Interstate Open Weight Champion. Simply put, he is the resident rockstar Sean Jovi. The champ is here.
Yeah.
How are you, my friend?
Doing pretty good. A lot better than last night from the train wreck. I'm
That was
glad we're
train
getting but we're getting the wheels turning tonight. We're going to get back on the rails.
Absolutely, no question about that. But before I do that, I promise I do something here, and I want to certainly take a slight detour, but I promise you it's not going to be like yesterday. I want to give a shout out actually to the people in the great state of Tennessee and Mississippi and those surrounding areas, because I was speaking with one of our Hall of Famers who is the hardcore king, and you can certainly debate that at a different time. I am talking about the only Grand Slam winner in Tennessee backyard wrestling history, their current hardcore champion, Atomic Titan, and Mr. Titan was telling me that he is going through, and many of his colleagues around the great states of Tennessee and Mississippi are dealing with some horrific rain, some horrific storms out there. So if you can out there and you're watching and listening to this, please give our thoughts and prayers, and certainly keep everybody and the good people of Tennessee and Mississippi in your thoughts right now, because they're going through some horrific weather right now. Some people have lost power. They're losing power. Some people are actually losing their homes, and it's just a real serious situation. I know today we're going to celebrate. We're going to obviously have some fun, but I do want to obviously keep our good people out there in Tennessee and Mississippi, certainly companies like Resurrection Pro Wrestling, obviously Tennessee Backyard Wrestling. So many of those great wrestlers come onto this platform. We had some of them on here yesterday, like Mac 10, and obviously Mr. Josh Allen was here Sunday, Jacoby, and Xavier Thorne. I guess you could put him in there. But the point is, regardless of what you think of it, I just want to, if you can, please join me in a thought and prayer for all those great people out there. So just wanted to do that for a second. So. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, obviously we want to thank you for that. And again, please keep your thoughts and prayers out to the good people in Tennessee and Mississippi. But Sean Jovi, you are not here to talk about the weather. You are not here to talk about the Silver Wolf, the boy who cried wolf. You're not here to talk about Skulls, who probably needs a bowling ball to be hit over his head to tell him not to be in the ring. You're not here to talk about Adonis Felios signing contracts that look like in a garbage dump. You're not here to talk about Tyler Ark, who looks like he should probably be in a mental institution. You're not here to talk about Loose Cannon, who probably should certainly be shot out of the cannon when it comes to his wrestling abilities, especially after he scammed all those people out there in that company for what that's worth. But you apparently have an announcement that is going to shake the wrestling landscape here in our community as we know it. So for those that are listening and watching on Sportswire Radio, where truly all wrestling matters, Sean Jovi, tell us what your announcement is.
So, if you don't mind, a little bit before the announcement here, I just got to mention a few things.
Absolutely.
So, I want to take a little detour back to GBYWN, like you said. I wasn't the most popular guy in the forum back then, but it was something I held dear to my heart. The backyard wrestling scene, all that stuff. I've had the heart for it the whole time. And when I came back in 2021, I didn't think I had that anymore. But I was proven wrong. And I was proven wrong that backyard wrestling was dead. Clearly it wasn't. In fact, I think this is a new era and it needs something new, something prestigious, something beautiful to make the world a better place for the underground scene and not have to dwell in whatever that shit show was yesterday. I want the future to be now, and I want this era of backyard wrestling to be the best it can possibly be, because that is what I believe in. So without further ado, I want the term all wrestling matters to be more than a hashtag. I want it to be almost like a movement. And you know that, Tom. We've talked about that.
Yes, we have.
And That is why All Wrestling Matters. You can don't call it a comeback for GBYWN because this is basically going to be the makings of a new alliance. Now, when you say alliance, you think like NWA or something like that. And
Yeah, I mean, it was
yes,
AEW had a relationship with TNA during COVID.
yes,
You've seen other
yeah,
promotions.
and
WWF in the late '90s had a relationship with the NWA. Yeah, we've seen
yeah,
W had a
and that's
relationship
the thing.
with
And
WCW.
what happens when their champion comes to town, Tom? How big of a deal is it? Pretty big deal, right?
Absolutely. I mean, how about back in the day, Bob Backlund and Ric Flair, and you used to see, back in the day, you would see, let's say, Bruno Sammartino and
Mm-hmm.
Buddy Rogers. You would see Pedro Morales wrestle Ric Flair, and you would see one company wrestle another company. Nick Bockwinkel wrestled Bob Backlund once upon a time, and
Right.
before Vince McMahon, you would see the best of the best go out there. Absolutely.
Exactly. And that's the point I'm trying to prove. But we can't do it without an incentive. We can't do it without a prize. You can't just say you're the best and not mean it, right?
I would agree
Well,
with that.
GBYWN had a belt, right? They did.
Yes, they did.
They
Yes,
did. And Rad Dad holds
Yep.
that as the forever holder.
Correct.
But that's not the point. We're talking about now. We're talking about 2024. And the term All Wrestling Matters means more than that because it's not just a hashtag, it's not an alliance. It is also a world title.
What? Whoa! Slow down for a second, Sean Jovi. Did you mean to just tell me you were talking about this thing? All Wrestling Matters, and yes, I agree with you. We've spoke here since the beginning of this year about All Wrestling Matters and specifically focusing on wrestling that may not get the attention and the respect it deserves. I completely agree with you. But then you just talked about something there that kind of unites us, where you talked about, yes, and I got the thumbs up, sure. But the point is that you talked about an incentive. You talked about uniting some of the best, not only in the yard, but from different promotions. And for those that are listening and watching, may I ask what that may be that is in the background? Because it looks rather interesting.
Yes, of course. I'm going to hold on one title for another here.
Championships. I realize what
well, this one's not mine. It's for the community, my friend. You see, I wanted to give back to the community of backyard and underground wrestling. I wanted to give back to Sportswire Radio and all those great things. Because look at how much it's done for me as an individual, as a human being, as a wrestler, as a talk show person. A year ago on this platform, I couldn't even talk to you. I was speechless with James Marshall.
Well, you were the one, but you know what? You were the one person, if you really want to go down on the one person, I said, you know what, Joe, I would tell people that Jovi's all right. I said, Jovi, I got a soft spot for him. I said, don't count. Well, guys would message me. Certain people would come on. They couldn't talk. Maybe one or two of the people that were in that dumpster fire called Triple L, take the big fat L and just move on. But I was always like, you know what? Now I see something in him. And apparently, not only did you take that mantle, you took the bull by the horn, and you've got something that I see right there that literally says All Wrestling Matters. World's Underground Champion. Rather interesting there. Now,
yes, sir.
May I ask how and what we will see to crown that championship? Because it's great to see that title with you. I know it's not your championship, but how will that be crowned, if you don't mind me asking?
So, first off, I just want to show off the side plates because those are cool. It has my vlog logo because,
And by the way, follow him on YouTube. I got the link. 9 subscribers away from 700. So I want people out there right now. He's at 691. If you're watching and listening this, wherever you may be.
This is my favorite one.
Well, that's great. I'll take care of myself, but Sean Jovi's 9 subscribers away from 700. He's closing in on 1,300 followers on Facebook. He's on TikTok as well on Instagram. Out here for the first time, just hearing about Sean Jovi. Hit that sub button, hit that like button, whatever it is. Go out there and support this man, because this man has been one of those shining examples. Not only just here in the background, you see what he's got here, but also in the backyard, the underground, and really from all the people that I've had on here in over 5.5 years that I'm doing it. He has been one of the true shining examples of what it's about here on Sportswire Radio. So go support this man.
Thank you very much. So, how are we going to determine it?
Yeah, how are we going to...
I haven't come up with a match in particular. or that's still to come. But I will announce where this will be fought for.
I know it's not going to be at Backyard Brawl 2, though. That's what I
No. If there's a backyard brawl too, I'm going to move out of Wisconsin, go to Iowa. I swear. But or Indiana, you never know where I'm going to wind up. I show up places. But no, Summer Bash. I'm thinking Summer Bash
Interesting.
is where we're going to crown this.
Right after July 4th. It's in beautiful Bremen, Ohio.
Yep. Biggest wrestling gathering for independents and undergrounds and yarders.
From July 5th to July 7th.
Correct.
You can get in touch with Sean Jovi about it. You can also get in touch with the guys in the IMF who are going to be here tomorrow night, I believe, about an hour ahead of the time we started tonight. Right. You can also get in touch with our good people out there in DKW, Dark Cryptic Wrestling. They're on YouTube. They're also a part of the foundation. So you can get in touch with them about more details on that. We'll be talking a lot about that show. I have no doubt starting next month, and then it'll be from July 5th to July 7th. So you're telling me here, Sean Jovi, the resident rock star, that we're going to crown the new champion, the world's underground champion for all wrestling matters, this new community that you've created at Summer Bash from July 5th to July 7th. Is that correct?
Yes. Absolutely.
Pretty big deal. I mean, this is
big. I'm really excited for it too, Tom.
And you know what? I'm so glad, and I'm so glad y'all, because I want to kick the ballistics here. I want to cut to the chase here, because I'm going to now take, just for a slight detour from you, because this is what it's all about, because I've been doing this a while on this platform. I cover British wrestling. I cover independent wrestling. I obviously do a lot in the underground, the backyard, I would say for the past year and a half and change. But, what this is here is revolutionary. Because a lot of times people from different promotions come on here and say, yeah, I want to go out there and wrestle. Yeah, I want to go out and have a match. But the truth is, they don't really want to have a match with people that come on here. They're just basically BSing, because the facts are is they're only comfortable in their own shoes. They're only comfortable in having the same matches, the same people. Sure, maybe they paint a picture that's a different way, or maybe they use some artificial food coloring. Because basically, when they come on here and say they want new competition and different people, it's really like artificial food coloring. It's fake. They're BSing here. They're disingenuous. They're intellectual.
I've seen it so many times too.
And they do it, and you know what? And they do it all the time in the independents, of the British independent guys. They go, yeah, I want to go out and wrestle. Yeah, I want to go out and wrestle this person. But no, they want to. It's the same people have the same matches. It's the same 50 people show up. It's the same 10 people who like the post on Facebook. It's the same 16 people that share it on Instagram. But nothing really changes, because it's a good old boys network. It's all about nepotism. It's all about the same old politics, which is destroyed in a lot of ways independent wrestling. It's certainly killed British wrestling, because you have guys in there that are quote unquote in the independents that certainly draw flies. They probably have the same wrestling skills as Triple W or Triple L, whatever it might be, everything else in between in a bag of chips. And even here in the backyard underground, guys come on in. We want to really have the same people. But then when, people come on the platform and want to have a chat with them, don't do it. Don't, can't do it. Can't talk to them, because I'm into my own thing and I'm doing this and I'm doing that. And I don't want to do anything, but let's see who the best is the best. That's really see. So you know what? I'm going to go right to the top here, because I'm going to go do a couple things for you, because I'm going to be your hype man, and I'm going to give you something in a minute. Here's the facts. Whether you're out there in XCW, whether you're out there in ROEW, whether you're out there in the IMF, whether you're out there in WC, whether you're out there in TBW, whether you're out there in Resurrection Pro Wrestling, whether you're out there in VTW, yes, VTW, whether you're out there in DBW, yes, DBW, yes, you guys out there, whether you're in DBW, whether you're in any other promotion out there that comes out, certainly our friends over at NEW, New Underground Wrestling, because they're actually doing kind of a prelude to what you're doing right in the ring June 1st. Let's give those guys a big shout, because those guys are actually doing the prelude to what you're doing. Let's certainly mention the Alliance Wrestling League out there. Let's mention anybody else that's out here that I've missed. Sorry that I missed you. Sorry that I forgot you. But if you're any promotion that comes onto this platform, with the exception of Triple W or Triple L or what other promotion that you are, what belongs to be worthless in the scrap heap, the facts is that if you're any promotion that comes onto this platform, ROEW, WCE, IMF, DBW, yes, DBW, EBW even, VTW, Whether you're XCW, definitely XCW out there. 'Cause I want to
Yeah.
see XCW. 'Cause
Hint,
XCW,
hint.
I want to see XCW. XCW is the gold standard. Endorsements are earned, not matter. They've got the biggest roster out there.
I want to see it too.
Fletch is the high and mighty. Fletch goes out there and, yeah, we're the greatest. Until you come into XCW, you haven't paid your dues. I'm talking to you. I'm talking to every champion in that company. Resurrection Pro Wrestling, Tennessee Backyard Wrestling, the mothership of this sport right now in the yard. ESW, yeah, you Austin, with your obviously hard body, your rocking hard body. Yeah, you got the 10,000 followers. Yeah, you got the subs. Well, step up to the plate, buddy. Step up to the plate to All Wrestling. Come on down. See if you can take that championship. See if you can work away from outside of your friends out in Texas. See you come on down here. I want anybody out here. Anybody that's on this platform, NEW, New Underground Wrestling, already mentioned them. How about the TF crew? Can't forget about them. Gabe Sayers and all his guys. Most of them are in the NEW Wrestling. You know what? How about even guys like, I don't know, Mikey Anarchy? How about Jimmy Controversy? How about Hardcore? How about, I don't know, Obey? Any of those guys out there? You're listening? Doc Holliday, Brax? Am I missing anybody? Power Surge, D Savage, the destructive Jack Delta? I mean, anybody else I'm missing? How about Mr. Judgment? Can I say Mr. Judgment's name on this, or is it going to be, can't mention that because DBW does their own thing? But no, seriously.
Tell them to stop doing their own thing. Let's work together.
Step up to the plate. I'm saying this lovingly. Step up to the plate. If you're in any promotion that comes on this platform and you want to see who's really the best, July 5th to July 7th, we're going to crown a champion. That's going to be the World Underground All Wrestling Matters champion. And Sean Jovi. And you know what? I'm even going to go further. You talked about those old days, right? Back in the day, right? From GBYW. And did I get it right this time? I want to make sure.
GBYW, yep. You did
so
it.
Not like an OBGYN now. Maybe Skulls, Tyler Ark, Adonis Felios, Loose Cannon.
Oh, man. This is before they even knew what wrestling was.
Maybe they need an OBGYN in terms of wrestling skills. But, you mentioned Rad Hazard, right? Rad Hazard, we talked about him. Rad Dad, Radley Belmont, right? Obviously, he's kind of one of the biggest names, right, to come out of GBYWN, right? Maybe
he was the one who ran it. He ran most of it.
You know what? It wouldn't be a tournament, right? That if you didn't invite him, if he could, obviously, now I'm sure you're aware of him.
I invited him to Summer Bash.
Yeah, well, you know what? He's currently, if I'm not mistaken, he is the dual workhorse champion in a little company called GTS with over 1.3 million subscribers.
I think he's one of the biggest exports from GBYW, and him, Alex Zane, Tony Depp, and there's a lot of them.
And how about Mr. Copper Dragon? Maybe you should invite him down there to let him see all of this with his very eyes because, he was the California kid. So now, with all due respect to all these people that are being invited, obviously some guys here, Ox McCoy, makes your old opponent. Maybe you should invite him. The Steve, Damian saying, yes, that's right.
Anyone's welcome to Summer Bash, man. It's just a matter of who will qualify to get that.
Ego, can we mention Ego to be invited, or is that like Omen? Is that we can't mention them? How about Cyrus, the It Factor? Is Chase Wakefield, did he retire or not retire? I mean, Jason Storm, he's the owner of ROEW. He should get an invite. How about, I don't know, the guys in AWL? There's the war criminal, Dylan Andrews. What about
anyone, past or present? I want to see him.
Who can we invite from there? Resurrection Wrestling. They got a who's who of people there. The Icon, Jack Spade, the West Memphis Kid, Ronnie Brady. How about Dustin Alexander? He's a dual champion. I mean, how about even D'Angelo LaFlame?
Ooh.
I mean, can I keep going? Gabe Sayers mentioned him. The Puerto Rican Prince, Angel Santiago. Wasn't he on Celebrity Boxing not too long ago? I mean, he can certainly rough it up in the ring. How about he rough it up to see if he can compete for this championship? How about guys in WCE? I mean, Kodak Kid. I mean, is he out there, or is he going to need another flannel shirt to change into?
I mean, he might need that after this weekend.
What about Darkfire, your old former best friend, Craven Rage? How about Chris Craven, Anthony Steele? I mean, can we mention Anthony Steele? Is he allowed to show up to this one, or does he need permission because he pissed somebody off for something he said here on Sportswire Radio? How about the guys in XCW? Justin Parsley, two-time Hall of Famer, one of two Hall of Famers here. How about, I don't know, how about Miano Diaz? He's the world champion in XCW. Or can he show up? I mean, I don't know if Fletch would be a good idea. Fletch could show up, but
I mean, I don't run Summer Bash, man.
I don't know if
whoever's welcome. I think it's open invite.
But the point is, if you're out there, CJ Black, the good guy. I mean, I would imagine Omen and Soldier. How about Jake Matthews, Power Surge? I mean, you want to talk about guys that could probably win the tournament. This guy, Power Surge, could probably lift like 14 guys at once simultaneously. Rhea Silver, Tyson Spade, the NEW Underground Champion of the world. I mean, you can go up and down. Justin Abel-Sane, who's going to be here Tuesday night. I mean, maybe Xavier Thorne should be invited. Jacoby. How about the Atomic Titan, the Hardcore King? I love to see him compete for this championship. How about, I don't know, the TBW Champion of the world, Russell Cooper? I mean, would he be allowed to show up here? Or is he still mad about the fact that I told him that he basically lied about the fact that I offered Gage Flair $20 to come on my show? But that's that's a work, by the way. That's not basically me talking the truth here. But I'd love to see Russell Cooper. He's the world champion, right? But why don't he come on down? Gage Flair, the Nature Boy. I mean, when's he coming on this platform here, by the way? Let's go down the list of people. Jay Wild, the Prophet, James Taylor. I mean, James Taylor, of course, the legendary James Taylor. I mean, let's certainly see if he can show up here. The facts
Never
are,
say never,
Marquand, Matthew Forsaken, they got the home field advantage, right? I mean, Combat Joe. I mean, can we keep going? I mean, listen. I'm not saying it to knock these guys, but the facts are is if you're out here, and I know I'm taking your spotlight here, but the facts are is if you have been on this platform and you want, how about Jacob Collins? You're the ROEW champion. JX doesn't live too far from Summer Bash. He was the ROEW champion not too long ago. Tommy the Man Merriman. I mean, he's the man, right? I mean, let's go. Let's keep going. Chris Jones. How about EBW? EBW. How about the EBW? Didn't they beat everybody in XCW? Rob Slater, the Essential One. I mean, how about my guest Mitchell, the Riot Maverick, Seth Maverick, and AWL? I mean, should I keep going? I mean, you've got.
I mean, you got. I think you hit most of them, man.
I mean, we got them all out there. So if you're out there, Andrew Lovelace, my buddy Andrew Lovelace, the be all end all. I mean, he's not too far down the road in Pennsylvania. How about Van Hansen and Kid Mike? I mean, they've certainly got some experience being in the ring. I mean, the Blaze Ace Christian, can we mention him? I mean, can I keep going? I mean, look, the point is,
Azrael, there's a few more people actually that I can think of.
Conspiracy. I mean, they're around. Robert Pierce. How about Big Tex? I mean, I can go up and down the list of people. What did I mention? 50 names. Jake Matthews. I mean, he's been mentioned.
Well over 50, my dude. But no,
that was all off. I mean, that was the point. Is that if you're out here and you want to see to test your skills, there's a championship in the background that would give you something to say. I'm not saying any of this facetiously. I'm saying it more like to motivate and hype up what you've presented, which is groundbreaking in many ways. This is the same thing as to what when Shane Douglas was the NWA champion back in 1994, and he decided to take a company that was just a regional independent to be ECW. What you are doing is taking something that was once upon a time something, but to kind of like the Arizona Coyotes NHL hockey team deactivated and put it out there. And, you know, I actually want to bring up a quick comment here real quick. There is somebody that I mentioned about being a part of this, and he just wanted to say, doing probably rings a bell in Mr. Rad Dad Radley Belmont. I would be, if I were you, Mr. Jovi, I would make Mr. If I were you, I would make Mr. Dad Radley Belmont the first person you should invite for this tournament to compete, because after all, he laid the foundation all those years ago of a network that really changed the face of backyard wrestling and gave it a way to connect, and as well as the underground and some of the independents. So, if I were you, Mr. Jovi, that was what I would do. But it's your
totally. I mean, Rad Dad, if you make it to Summer Bash, I will happily make you my first, because you were an inspiration behind this. And not just that, him and I had conversations when this first became an idea, and he told me what to do and what not to do, and I plan on doing all the things he told me to do. And Rad, my way of giving back to that, welcome to the match if you want in, man. You just gotta show up. And I want nothing more than to see that.
You might be Sean Jovi in some way, a distant relative or a distant offspring of Mr. John Bon Jovi. But to quote the song from Appetite for Destruction, Guns N' Roses, it sounds like for this World Underground All Wrestling Matters Championship, it's going to be a welcome to the jungle. And it ain't going to be no fun and games for anybody who enters this tournament. And I'll throw it out there for another indie star wrestler, Mr. Andrew Lovelace. I would like to see him in this tournament in Berman, Ohio, July 5th to July 7th. As a matter of fact, look at that championship. Put that belt up a little more closer, Mr. Joe. I want the people, I want the wrestlers who are here on this platform to see that, because it might be in their own possessions coming up in about 7.5 weeks from now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you got it. I got
it's
the point.
beautiful. It's beautiful.
It's a
beautiful
lot more
nonetheless.
It's a lot more beautiful than Skulls and Tyler Rock did Backyard Brawl, or
that doesn't take much though, Tom. I put effort into this.
Well, I could see that.
Effort in getting it made, at least.
Well, you certainly did that, and I'd like to get to some comments because a lot of people have been wanting to chime in for a long time. And yes, Mr. Lovelace, it's July 5th to July 7th, and I want you, Mr. Jovi, since you're obviously with us, to invite Mr. Lovelace, because Mr. Lovelace is not too far down the road from there, and he's obviously a very accomplished wrestler. He's also my DJ, and I got something for you. I've got something for you, Mr. Jovi, in a few minutes, and I want to give to you. So you're going to wait. So stay there. Don't touch that dial. Don't go anywhere. And I'm going to pull some comments up here. First of all, Nicholas Crenson, who's now the nonchalant Nicholas Crenson, says his body is ready. So his body might be ready to carry that championship, but I'm sure there's a whole list of wrestlers that will have to say maybe. Want to say hello to Remy Ravage for the first time.
I'm just playing the role of vacant right now.
How you doing, Remy Ravage? Remy Ravage is, I think, one of the newer talents in XCW. How you doing, Remy? Remy's
also a very old friend of mine.
Oh, I will always like to see you.
That's one of the old GBYWN folk.
Oh, okay. And Remy's going back in XCW. What a small world there.
I know. I'm excited when I heard the news.
Well, there you have it. I mean,
made my day, man. It was great.
Well, it made my day to see you and to see Remy on the screen. How you doing, Remy? So good to see you, and I look forward to more of you and hopefully some in XCW coming up. Jake Matthews, and yes, that's real blood. And yes, Jake Matthews really is hardcore, and his company's NEW Underground Wrestling really does
I've
things.
Heard of it.
Yeah, and they have Riot in the Ring coming up, and they're certainly a place that's kind of doing the prelude to All Wrestling Matters.
I was going to say, how long have they been around?
They've been around. This is their it's their 6th season. They've been doing All Out War. This is their 9th All Out War. So they've been around since 2015, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. I know I've heard Jake Matthews' name somewhere.
He's been around. He's been around. Actually, he's been wrestling about as long as you. His debut, I believe, was right around the same time of yours. He started in 2008.
What Fed did he start for? Do you know?
I'm
just trying. Sorry, I don't want to get off topic, but I'm curious.
Well, he's from the New England area, so you've probably seen his name come across. He's from Massachusetts.
Okay.
The beautiful state of Massachusetts. Want to say hello to one of my buddies, Mr. Ethan Sorensen. We're doing great. We just had the announcement here that Sean Jovi has created kind of a new kind of groundbreaking revolutionary thing. It's going to be the All Wrestling Matters Championship, the World's Underground Championship, and the winner is going to be crowned between July 5th and 7th at Summer Bash, which will be presented by DKW and IMF in the great state of Ohio. So make sure everybody see that. Mr. Justin Parsley, who's got a Beavis and Butthead icon. Is he? Did you lose the role of Beavis and Butthead to Ryan Gosling? Is that why you actually put the photo there like that? But Mr. 2-time Sportswire Radio Hall of Famer, potentially Mr. 3-time, because he's now a podcaster. He's got a show that he's reactivated with the Seminole Warrior, and I'll talk about that later on. We're doing great, obviously, Mr. Matthews, and we're doing a lot better than yesterday. Our resident rock star couldn't agree more. Your brother in the foundation, the IMF champion of the world, I'm sure he'll be in this tournament, Mr. Soldier GP. Obviously, I mentioned Mr. Atomic Titan. I hope everybody in TBW is doing well. Everybody there, please, to everybody in the locker room, be safe out there in the great state of Tennessee and Mississippi. Our buddy Alan Michaels, I'm thinking of, who's obviously a part of our show Friday nights. I'm also thinking about Jacob Young. Jacob Young has had a great conversation with, so I'm making sure all those guys out there are safe and sound. Josh Allen, who's on the platform not too long ago, Manny Cobra, Atomic Titan, hard man to get a hold of for a reason, because of what I talked about earlier in the show. A man that you know very well. Obviously, somebody ring a bell. I think you probably know who that is, right? You know who it is?
Oh, yeah.
It's not the big
He's the guy who I bet roses a few times.
Yes,
the foundation said I should.
Definitely not the big bad silver wolf. Definitely not him.
Oh God, that's my best friend, not a disaster piece.
That would be your worst friend, maybe. I have a I'll come back to that. It's not really about that tonight. Thank you, Ethan,
Yeah.
though, for the greatest comments. Soldier GP does not like Mr. Parsley, but I have a feeling Mr. Parsley is going to be here later this evening tomorrow. So, also, I
Ooh.
think Mr. Black doesn't seem to like your best friend, but he does seem to like you. Mr. Matthews seems to like Mr. Titan. I like Mr. Titan. And also, what is up, Omen? I hope Omen is doing well. I don't want Mr. Omen Black to burn in hell
Me
because
neither.
been
Yeah.
there. He said he's been there, and then he says he loves Omen, so he can't make his mind up. We have Soldier going back and forth with that. Mr. Ox McCoy, your old opponent, obviously a man you know very well, is here, and Ox gave me some very enlightening comments on yesterday's show, and also talked about Mountain Dew because yes, I drink a lot of Mountain Dew, and hopefully that's a good or a bad thing. I'm not sure. I'll let you get back to you on that. And he's not into guys. I'll let that sit with Mr. Black. I'm not going to comment on that. Jake Matthews, my boy, I don't want to go there. We're about all wrestling matters, all people that matter. He means brotherly love. I appreciate that. Thank you, Remy. Yes, I definitely do know my history. I appreciate that. And title looks great. I think it looks like one of the best prizes in this sport. I appreciate you tuning in and thank you for the hype. And we have a lot more comments here. The championship definitely looks good. I appreciate the kind words. May the force be with you, Sean. Yes. That should be his belt, but there's no nepotism. There's no patronage here. To quote the political landscape, Mr. Black is going to have to earn that alongside his DKW championship of the world, which he holds. Want to say hello to my buddy, Mr. Michael Blackheart, who is now, I guess, maybe an official member of XCW. And he knows Remy, and we know Remy, and also great minds think alike. And his ex-stepfather was Festus Davis, who I know is not going to be one of the referees at Summer Bash, but all kidding aside, and yes, eyes, 20 years come Summer Bash. I know Nicholas has got something he's going to talk about when he's on the air tomorrow. Did Triple W really shut their doors down today? Are they officially extinct? I mean, are they selling?
So before I just shook my head and blocked all of them, I saw on Silverwolf's page that Triple W is closed and they're rebranding it to something called RCPW. I don't know what it stands for, but I'm guessing it's really crappy promotion wrestling.
I mean, I guess somebody's got PMS. I guess I don't know.
I don't know, man. I had to shake my head.
Well, they shut their doors down, but they've reopened. They've just rebranded. They've got new management. He's apologizing, but the management has no wrestling experience. They wrestle in the outside of some open place where they have like a mat that I used in my 7th grade junior high school gym class.
I remember when I was 16 too, guys.
So I guess that's what we're going to do. And, didn't Loose Cannon scam them out of money? And it wasn't Monopoly money, but I digress. Good, yes. And Remy wants the title, and we'll have to find out how I just did. Mr. Matthews may have to make his way down there, and that would be fun to see.
I would like that.
Massachusetts and Ohio aren't too far from each other, if I'm not mistaken. Andrew Lovelace, good to see Mr. Lovelace as always. Shiny, it's definitely a shiny championship. And I'll get you in touch, Sean, with Mr. Lovelace. I'll get you in touch with him.
Okay, I was going to say, I don't know the address per se. He should probably hit up IMF or DKW for that.
I'll tell you what. I'll send Mr. Lovelace's information to Darkron. I'll take care of it.
Okay. Yeah.
I'll handle that. So.
Okay.
Want to say yes, Remy. Hello. I know you've been here. Saturday will be awesome. Yes, we're gonna get to Saturday's show. Okay, Soldier. Yeah. Mr. Lovelace. It's Gary Patrick on Facebook. I know I'm probably breaking the fourth wall, but just look up Gary Patrick. I'll handle it. Either way, I'll take care of it because I'm pretty sure that I'm friends with some of these people, right? Maybe they don't want to be friends with me anymore. I don't know, but it was a joke. It was a joke.
You're my friend, Tom.
That's nice of you, and I like to have one friend in the world. Okay. I'm ready to fight in that cage, and also. Good point here. My first company, which was in 2015.
That one, yeah, I thought so.
Oh, what a small world! There you go.
I thought so. I was like, it had to have been something like that. I just couldn't remember it, but that makes sense.
And NEW has just started rising in views within the last 1 to 2 years, and I've really gotten interested in them in the last, I want to say, 4 months, right? We've been doing 3 months on
Yeah.
Sportswire with NEW. So there you have it. They're, by the way, close to 2,000 subscribers on YouTube. They're like 60 or 70 away. If you
Nice.
haven't yet, go support them. NEW Underground Wrestling. Just do it. I'm telling you, go out there and support the culture. Get these guys to 2,000 subscribers. They got a great roster. You got Rhea Silver.
If I'm not subscribed, I'll do it after this.
All good. I got you. But there's like 20 something people here. So the point is that you're out there, help them. Let's help all each other out. Yeah, and
all wrestling matters.
And that was a funny one. Andrew, by the way, is our house DJ. I just want to give a big plug to Andrew. He's going to be spinning some of your favorite drum and bass, some house, some techno music, June 5th, 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. So if you want to hear some of that, hear some of those tunes, come out and hang out with us. And I still got something for you, Mr. Jovi. So hang on tight. Message the face. I'll handle it. Then we have any more comments? Yes, we do. I have more comments, and I'm ready to slap thighs and tap guys. Yes, hashtags, all hashtags there. But Mr. Jovi, while I have a chance that I'd like to give you something, because obviously you've created something for the culture, and I know people here are obviously excited, they're fired up, and I wanted to officially recognize you. I know, yes, you're in the Hall of Fame. Yes, I know you've been recognized a few times already. I got that, but this is something a little different, and I want the audience to, because you've actually gone the extra mile. You've done something for us and for the community to all make us feel a little bit more closer and connected. So, Sean Jordan, I could obviously I could not do it for you. I could not show it on the screen. Maybe I could give it to Silver Wolf instead. Maybe I could give it to Skulls or Tyler Ark. I could give them this certificate or something that shows something. If you want, I could give it to them. Loose Cannon, he might charge me $1,000 for it, but I can give it to him. I could maybe, give it to C2K. Maybe he will create a rap off it and, create his own certificate off it. But if you want, I could still present it on the screen.
I mean, I'm going to print it out and put it on my wall anyway, so let's see it. My wall is I'm going to run out of space, Tom, at this rate.
Well, Justin Parsley, again, shouting out Justin Parsley, who's kind of like my wingman these days, and he was like, can I be a 17-time Hall of Famer? I'm like, well, okay, now I have to come up with things. But I digress. Sean Jovi, I officially want to create you for everything you've done for this sport, everything that you've done for the term All Wrestling Matters. I want to officially recognize you as the ambassador, because obviously it starts right at the top, right? Because, like John Bon Jovi always said, who says you can't go home and who says you can't have All Wrestling Matters without an ambassador? And you were that ambassador, Mr. Jovi. So congratulations. And you'll get this on this, I'm sure, off the screen. And I wanted you to have it.
Thank you so much.
And there you go.
Appreciate it.
There you go. Yeah, that's that. And I think Remy likes my jokes. Somebody likes my jokes. Yes, you definitely earned it. Sometimes. But the point is obviously you have that there. All right, so we're gonna have this here July 5th to July 7th. And when are we going to know competitors? How are we going to know people are going to be in this tournament? Because today is May 8th. So again, as I state the calendar. We're about less than 8 weeks away from then. So how will we know for the audience that we will see competitors for this, matches announced? How will that work out?
I'm still kind of rolling on it, idea-wise. I don't have a full set of people coming to Summer Bash yet. Once that list is in front of me, I plan on rolling it out. I'm going to try and work with DKW and IMF to get the best card possible for this title. I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure if it's going to be a tournament, a ladder match, a battle royal. It could be anything. I haven't fully decided.
Think about it. I mean, now it's obvious.
A tournament makes sense. It makes sense, but just organizing it,
I have a question, and we're winging it off. This is because I got people are tuned in, hear it when we're off the air. Would you want people to vote on thing? Would you want? I mean, because again, there's a lot of wrestlers, right, that would want to be in this. I mentioned 50 names. I probably missed that.
Right. So, well,
would people want to vote on something? A poll? Would a poll be? Would people want a poll to decide what they want? Because again, you have a lot of people, right? A lot of great people.
It's not a bad idea.
And I want to make the announcement here real quick because Jake is going to go. He's on the platform Saturday. I know we have an IMF show, but Jake is going to be here Saturday night, 9:00 Eastern time. So he's going to be here. We're going to talk about All Out War 9 because he's got his own match, which is really intriguing against Power Surge. So if you're here right now and you're not at the IMF show coming up, hang out with us at 9 o'clock Eastern time this Saturday with Jake Matthews, the Born to Battle briefcase holder and the best on the card. Also, the Hall of Famer on Sportswire Radio has the most championships officially. So there you go. So, but okay,
Yeah.
so you were saying we're obviously talking about how would you go about figuring this out?
Yeah, no, I think a poll would actually not be a bad idea. This is all Wrestling Matters after all. I feel like everyone who made Wrestling Matter at this point should have a say in this. Like I said before, it's not just my belt that I bought and created. This is a belt for the community. This is a belt for everyone who shows that all wrestling matters. And it depends how many people are interested. I mean, if we have everybody and their monkey's uncle at Summer Bash being like, I want a shot at the belt, then we're going to have to do a tournament or a battle royal. But otherwise, I was thinking we could do a ladder match. There's all sorts of things we could do, but I think it should be up to the community. I agree with you, Tom. So I'm not sure how. Do you have a poll system?
Yeah,
What do you think? What do you got in mind, buddy?
I mean, if it was up to me, I mean, I think the people should decide.
I agree.
I think obviously it would depend, like you said, how many wrestlers are confirmed, how many wrestlers are showing up. There's a lot of companies that we were saying kind of tongue in cheek, but realistically, I don't know the amount of people that are going to be in this. Are you going to see people from, let's say, XCW? Are you going to see people from TBW? I mean, I don't know about how many people or if any people realistically are going to be from DBW in this or VTW, AWL, Resurrection Wrestling is a maybe. D'Angelo LaFlame would be a name to keep an eye on. Mac 10. Mac 10 was here on the platform. I mean, there are names from different promotions that, you could see. ROEW, I think obviously there's some people there. JX, counts funny for that, so.
There's a lot of good talent in the yard and the underground right now, Tom.
Absolutely.
That's why I said this could be the best era. This
TF crew, I think
this is the best era. And we have the technology now to do this. In 2009, there was technology, but was it great? Heck no.
No.
Technology's great. We have the ability. We don't have a backyard wrestling forum anymore, but we have social media. We have ways to reach out to people.
Well, I think the platforms are better now than message board forums. Message board
forums are
great.
And that's what GBYWN was. It was just a message board.
But that was a message board of people that were, in something that how many people could say that they were connected for, or even if you were a fan.
Oh, yeah.
And, like I'm a fan of wrestling, right? And I'm not a wrestler, but I enjoy connecting with people. Right. And, in a message board form in those days, that was the only thing you had. You didn't have, StreamYard to connect to YouTube and Facebook and Instagram. There was no Instagram.
YouTube was barely on its feet at that point.
I remember Facebook when it started you had to have a college email only account. I mean,
I had a MySpace when this started.
There was MySpace. There was, Meetup or whatever it was, and there was other minor platforms that you didn't have those things. And so I think it's a different dynamic. It's a different ball game. Obviously, yes, I agree with you, Ethan, that Sean Jovi definitely deserves that. Kumite, yes, definitely could do that. Justin Parsley has a good idea. Do an old school WWF style tournament live from Rio de Janeiro. And that's interesting. You could do something like that, but it depends what the people want. I mean, it depends.
Yeah, it depends how many people. Honestly, if I had a vote, and I know it'd be virtually impossible, I would do a round robin style tournament like the G1, but that's kind of hard to pull off.
Sure.
At least in one weekend.
And Andrew remembers the old board days. He was, I guess, a part. Were you a part of the board, Andrew? Were you a part of the board in those days? That's a good question.
Good times. I don't remember them, but good times.
Well, there was a lot of people I'm sure you connected.
Oh, there was a lot.
There was a lot of, but you're here now and you've done something, really revolutionary. And I think that's what it's about, giving the people something that they can believe in, something that they can attach to. And I think that's what you've done, is that you've gone above and beyond your means. You could just, comfortably wrestle a part of WC and IMF and, do your thing. And, nothing wrong with that. Listen, and I want to put it out there. There is nothing wrong with anybody that just wants to wrestle and wrestle in their own promotion or their own same people.
Mhm.
There's nothing wrong with that. And I give credit to people that do those. And listen, there's people in the British scene, right? It's the same matches. We see Synergy versus Reese and Rogan. We see Rick Marcus and RPD. I mean, listen, nothing wrong with that. I love all those guys. I love,
Mhm.
Gareth Angel and, Bentley you're going to wrestle, and you're going to see, the modern day Mafia go up against Denjian for the 80th time. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with those. Getsky and Stone are going to be in a tag team match. Eitan Steen's going to wrestle Philip Michael. Nothing wrong with those things. Jack Johnson and Getsky.
Mhm.
Nothing wrong with those things. But what you are trying to do is to allow people to believe in something. People,
Yes.
you know what? There's other promotions out there. Maybe I want to see who could be the best in, let's say, NEW, or the best in
Mhm.
DBW, or the best in independent wrestlers coming into this, or who's the best from XCW versus IMF, or
Yeah.
XCW and ROEW, or WCE against VTW, or NEW versus, let's
Yeah.
say, AWL, or, Resurrection Wrestling versus IMF, or TBW versus VTW, whatever it might be, whatever company that you're affiliated with.
Right.
This is giving people an opportunity to, even there's a thing called the backyard wrestling nexus. There, for those that are out there, it's, I don't want to say it's on the level of Triple W. It's a little bit better than that, but there are people in there that it's
Mhm.
a community, and they've
Right.
done it, I think, a very respectful way. Anthony Arias he's given people a positive safe haven, and I think that that's commendable. But even people there, maybe and then if they have the ability, if it's a big if, because there are people
Yep.
in there that, to be honest, I had on a guy yesterday, Scary Terry. With all due respect, he's on the trampoline, and they're a great family-run company, but they're not in the level of Summer Bash. But the point is that if you have the skills and you're in the backyard wrestling nexus, you want to come up to Berman, Ohio, go for it. If you're out there, again, IMF is certainly a company. UW, I want to give a big shout out to UWA, and I even want to throw out there for this coming event our friends over in YBW, Aaron Blaze, because it wouldn't be Summer Bash without one of the best in the yard with Aaron Blaze. Can I mention his name on this platform? Because Aaron Blaze would be a name to me. I got to throw him in this conversation because Aaron Blaze is one of those guys that's traveled. Aaron Blaze is one of those guys that just went into XCW and just beat the world champion there. Aaron Blaze has been a guy that's gone up in there and he's wrestled a who's who of people. He has traveled. He has held belt after belt. That's another guy. He's currently the UWA Heritage Champion. I mean, I can keep going. I mean, there's a lot of
Oh
people.
yeah. You could go all day, Tom. You could go all day.
Yeah, so I would love to see all those people there. Yeah, and Andrew Lovelace said he was on the board.
Okay.
He was on the board. Yep. And he got his start in Toledo, Ohio. He loves the state of Ohio. As a matter of fact, I love the state of Ohio. I think Ohio is one of the prettiest states in the United States of America. And I love all 50 states, as a matter of fact. But the facts are...
Only been there once.
I
Wasn't the
haven't been
best.
to Ohio. I don't know if I'm going to be there, admittedly, at Summer Bash, but I do want to
You
say it.
should.
I'm going to try. I don't want to be like other people that say, yeah, and don't. But what I do want to say is that Ohio is a beautiful state. Also, Aaron Blaze, yes, he's a phenomenal talent. He is a phenomenal talent out there. He has wrestled the likes of DJ Walbert, Biano Diaz. He has wrestled Chris Jones. He has wrestled a slew of great talent out there. Justin Parsley said that he hasn't asked for it. No, he hasn't asked for it. That's true. But taking the spot from 17 other worthy people. Well, I mean, would you count Silverwolf if he would have been in the Hall of Fame, or would that have to have been one of the 17 people he'd be taking it from?
Oh God.
I'm always trying to make people laugh. But obviously, we're going to take this off the screen, and we are here on Sportzwire Radio with Sean Jovi, the resident rock star, who I want to repeat once again for those that are listening and watching, has made an announcement that coming up here at Summer Bash, which will be presented by DKW and IMF. It'll take place from July 5th to July 7th. It's less than 2 months from now. They're going to have a championship belt to be crowned called the World's Underground Champion for all wrestling matters. It's kind of the new modern version of GBYW, and not to be confused with OBGYN, which some wrestlers that were on this platform yesterday need. But Mr. Jovi has created something revolutionary, groundbreaking. And if you'd like to compete for that championship, you can get in touch with the guys over in the IMF or DKW. You can get in touch with them via Facebook, Iowa Midwest Federation Wrestling, or I will actually personally handle that for you, because I'm pretty sure that the guys in IMF and DKW still want to be friends with me. If they don't want to be friends with me, I'll still give them their social media info. So if you're out there and you want to be involved in the tournament, you want to be involved in whatever it might be to crown this new champion, I will personally make sure that you get in touch with, obviously, the powers that be for this. Sean Jovi is also a part of it. He is also the WCE Interstate Openweight Championship, and I feel like I need that spinner because it's like 80-something degrees all of a sudden in New York in the Big Apple. Maybe I could use it as a fan right now, but you know what? I'm warmed up anyway because after last night on the show, tonight on the show, and you want to follow our friend over at WC as well because he is the Interstate Champion, and I have more coverage here tomorrow. So if you're here right now and you're finding out all about these things, check out tomorrow's show to get you ready for IMF Rage in the Cage. Right around this time, through about 9:45 p.m. Eastern time, I'll be here with a slew of stars from the IMF to talk about a slew of matches, including Sean Jovi, who's going to be in a match actually for the WCE All-Out Championship against supposedly the Picture of Perfection, right? Is this Kodak?
Kodak doesn't have the belt anymore. I'm defending mine.
Okay, Kodak Kid is no longer going to be defending his title, so
yeah, he doesn't have it. James won it.
I apologize on that.
Yeah,
it was a long day,
man.
But obviously, Mr. Marshall's the new All-Out champion. Congratulations to him. But certainly, Mr. Jovi will be putting up his Interstate Championship on the line. He'll talk about that. Plus, you'll see a slew of other great matches. You got obviously Omen Black will be in action. Soldier's going to be in action. You got the DKW Tag Team Champions and the IMF are going to be in action. Nicholas Crenton's going to be here, a slew of other people, and you can follow all of that here on this platform. And we are here with Sean Jovi. Let me get to a bunch of comments here, and also I can carpool and fellow tap possibly, but I'm farther from because I'm in the Big Apple. So admittedly, if I'm coming, it's probably via plane. If I'm coming, it's probably via airplane. But we'll see. We'll never say never. It will depend on a couple of different things, job related and other things. But I promise you that you will find out on this platform. Also want to say hello to OBGYN. Yes, I thought that was funny. And James Taylor. I'd love to see James compete in this, but we'll have to see. And we'll
never
certainly see.
Never.
We'll have to see. By the way, James, what do you think about James? He's apparently the new general manager of WC. Is that really true? Does that exist? As apparently it was broken on the platform before we go back to this championship talk that Mr. Taylor is the new general manager of WCE.
So, yeah.
Okay. Well,
I love James Taylor. Don't get me wrong, but that was not supposed to happen.
Okay, so that's basically pretend that never happened.
Yeah, just pretend that that and some other things just don't exist.
Well, what I will give a big plug for James on, as a matter of fact, is that James is putting up his company for sale, the Promo Wrestling Federation. His YouTube channel is up for sale. They've got about 1,250 plus subscribers on YouTube. So if you're interested in buying the company, it is up for sale. I have offered that if Mr. Taylor doesn't have a buyer, that I would consider buying it, just to keep the thing up and running, but I don't have the time to do that because I don't want the company to go extinct. But
how much is that? His 2K one?
That's the one with the 2K, all that stuff in there. He is putting that up for sale. He is obviously looking to put that to a buyer that would put that to good use. And if you are out there, you want a message, certainly Mr. Taylor would, I'm sure, work with you, all those things out there. So if you'd like to buy it, I mean, you don't want me to buy it because I'll keep it up and running, but if there's somebody out there that would care for it, put a labor of love, would like to get some new fans.
He's the podcast champion too.
Well, I'm sure that we'll put that up on this. I'm going to put up your social medias up in a second. But Justin Parsley's got his eyes, kind of glued to it. But so anything else do you want to say about this here before I transition for the remaining parts of the show on what's going to happen tomorrow with you on the air, kind of previewing what's going to happen at Rage in the Cage?
Well, Rage in the Cage, the thing that's special about this match, not only is it my first cage match, it's a rubber match between me and Kodak. See, Kodak Kid, him and I kind of crossed paths randomly and found out he was actually the younger brother of a wrestler I used to have a feud with.
Yep. We spoke about that in the past.
Yep, I think we have. Yeah.
We did.
But the thing is, that was our first match. We fought over that. Second match was about respect. This match is just to say who's actually the better man. And heck, the title's on the line too. I felt bad he didn't have the all-out title anymore because he foolishly defended it against James. So
do you feel that who has more to prove in this match, you or him?
Honestly,
Yeah,
I think it's a horse apiece. Kodak needs this win because he just came off a fresh loss off of James. He
correct.
needs this win. I need this win because I am not going to be a transitional champion like Craven Rage was. I'm not going to steal anybody's moment like Craven Rage does because my moment's actually here. This is the moment, Tom.
Well,
This has
you've had
been
a
the
moment
moment.
that's basically changed the face of the backyard, the underground, the independence as we know it. You've done
Exactly.
something that, you had a pipe bomb tonight. You had something that we're going to remember for a long time. We're going to look back on this date, May 8th, 2024, and say that Sean Jovi changed the face of backyard, underground, and independent wrestling as we know it. No question about that. But,
Mhm.
you mentioned Craven Rage, and I have to mention his name. Another name that's certainly, an interesting name that always comes up on this platform. And what did you make of Craven Rage this past weekend? He obviously retired, he unretired the next day, and he talked about WCE's going through new things. You talked about James Taylor being a general manager, don't pay attention to it. And, WC's had its own issues. Obviously,
Yeah.
compared to Triple W, WC looks like WWE basically at WrestleMania 40. But the point is that, you're back in the company. You've stayed in the
Yep.
company. Obviously, we knew what was going to happen should you have lost it, dead or alive. But Craven Rage also talked about the fact that, he didn't quit. He didn't quit, but the match had
He
to be
didn't.
stopped. But what did you make of Craven Rage's actions here this past weekend? And what is that hanging over you going into this match this weekend?
Honestly, I think Craven got cannonballed one too many times because he's lost his freaking mind. Like he retires one day and retires the next. That's worse than Brett freaking Favre, man. And I thought Brett Favre was bad at the retire unretire thing. No. And I thought I was even bad. I retired from the wrestling scene 6 times.
Well, and to be
But that
fair,
was the quickest I've ever seen something like that happen.
And to be fair, we saw that here in with Brett Favre with the Jets. It was just an absolute disaster the way that ended. So I could certainly, you're bringing up some memories there for me. So
Yeah. Hey, I was at Favre's last game as a Packer in that overtime game against the Giants.
Oh,
The freaking
sure.
goal. I was at that game at 50-yard line seats when that interception got thrown.
That was a really, really cold game. That was
Dude, it was, and it was snowing.
like -40 or something like that, right?
Yeah, it was horrible. But the arena and the body heat saved my ass.
You'll probably I know we'll come back to the comments, but I actually want to make you laugh. I actually own a Brett Favre New York Jets jersey via my brother because when he left the Jets and got traded to the Vikings, he didn't want the jersey anymore. So I've held on to it. I don't think I've ever worn it since.
I had one.
Yeah.
I had one when I was a kid, but I think I sold it because it didn't fit anymore.
Well, be that as it may. So obviously, Craven Rage took one too many cannonballs to the head.
Yep.
And you're not worried about what he's talked about being more darker than ever, and be careful what you wish for, and talking about it's going to be different and everything else. So
the only thing I wish for is a better Craven Rage than the last one we saw. In every shape, way, and form. I really hope whatever Craven's doing with this whole whatever, I hope it's worth it because right now he's making an ass of himself. I love the man behind the mask, but he's making a fool of himself right now, and I don't know what to say about it,
Well, I mean, we're going to find out. And, also, let me get to some more comments here. Mr. Taylor is not the general manager. Okay, thank you for confirming that. I appreciate that. Want to say hello to one of our good friends. How you doing? Nice to see you as always, my friend. Also, James Marshall, our all-out champion. Congratulations, Mr. Marshall. I had a certainly slip of the tongue there, but not a big deal. He says, just seen the Knucklehead Pack Hour. So what did I miss at the Knucklehead Pack Hour? What was
not that it was any bigger than this. You missed this, James.
Does anybody notice that Loose Cannon looks like Mr. Potato Head, by the way? No, I'm serious. Does anybody notice that Mr. Loose Cannon, Mr. Joe Biddle looks like Mr. Potato Head? Seriously.
I didn't until you said it. Now I can't unsee it.
And then, you look at his hair. Does anybody remember watching the Muppets growing up? Remember the Muppets? There was the one guy that had the really big head with the short hair at the top. I forget who it was, but
I can't remember.
He looks like one of those, But
yeah.
So you say that you have just as much to prove as Kodak Kid. So Kodak Kid, you're not concerned as a flash in the pan. Kodak Kid put everything out there to beat Craven Rage, and his run as champion was what it was. But so you feel still at the end of the day, though, you have just as much to prove as him, even though Kodak Kid, some would say that he was kind of basically a flash in the pan. 15 minutes of fame, he got as champion.
Yeah, I mean, yes, he probably does have more to prove than me. But from my perspective, I'm the WC Interstate Champion. That makes me the best in Wisconsin backyard wrestling scene, because Triple W doesn't exist anymore, and they weren't even a talk in
Well,
the
and
in
correct
that
me if I'm
in that
wrong.
lineup.
Correct me if I'm wrong. The Interstate Openweight Championship was always considered the measuring stick title, right? Because when James
Yeah.
held it, James Marshall, he was always the measuring stick. You held the title
Right.
last summer into the fall. You were considered to be the measuring stick, right? I mean, so
Yeah,
obviously,
it's a workhorse title too. You work your ass off to get this title. If you want to take the easy way out, go for the all out. Be my guest.
what does it mean to you to be back as Interstate Openweight Champion?
Means everything, Tom.
Mhm.
It's my first like out of home promotion title I've ever won, and I've won it twice. 2-time BBC holder, my friend.
Well, I'm not going to go there with the BBC
The
references.
big, beautiful championship. You know what
Well,
it
he can.
means.
Well, I think Craven Rage is trying to do something
Craven,
else with BBC.
Craven Rage. Yeah, hey, I use that as a meme on my vlog. That was funny. I'm sorry
I
I had to say that.
understand that.
I'm sorry he had to use that on your platform, but
That's
that
okay.
was
That's
funny.
okay. Let me
That
say
was funny.
hello. Now, I want to fill in Mr. Dragon, by the way. Of course, I'm talking about Mr. Copper
Yeah,
Dragon. Of course,
fill him in. I told him to watch.
Well, I'm going to let him know to remind him, Mr. Dragon. Of course, Mr. Dragon is the 7-star. Obviously, got the Copper Dragon rating system. It's the official wrestling's rating system. He is also, AKA the California Kid. He is our version of Dave Meltzer. He's also our newest and most recent member of the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame. He is our ambassador of this great sport. And I want to fill in Mr. Dragon that in case he missed the news, Sean Jovi has unveiled the World's Underground All Wrestling Matters Championship, which will be crowned at Summer Bash in beautiful Bremen, Ohio, from July 5th to the 7th. It's presented by
Copper.
It's presented via DKW and IMF. Sean Jovi has gone out of his way to create this championship, and certainly for you, Mr. Dragon, I'm sure you'll be talking a lot about it. And also, I want to give a big shout out to Mr. Dragon, because if you haven't yet, you need to go follow him on Facebook, YouTube, TikTok especially, and also Patreon, because I just subscribed to his Patreon channel. So that gives me the ability to ask Mr. Dragon about some matches I would love to see him rate. So maybe, Mr. Dragon, one of your new matches you should be reviewing should be in the next week or two, which should involve Kodak Kid and the resident rock star Sean Jovi at IMF Raging the Cage for the WC Interstate Openweight Championship. So cheap plug there, and certainly Mr. Dragon said definitely he was he liked my pension of him. So Mr. Dragon seems to be a fan. He seems to like me, which is surprising that he actually likes me, but that's a here nor there. But
I
obviously,
like you too, Tom.
I appreciate the kind words, and Copper Dragon is one of my favorites, and you can join me by subscribing on his Patreon channel. But Mr. Marshall would like to say, just got word Kodak Kid wants a rematch for the All Out Championship. So let me ask you a different question then. So you're going to wrestle Mr. Kodak Kid this weekend. We're going to talk a little bit about more of that on Thursday's show.
Mm-hmm.
But does that now maybe put more pressure on Mr. Kodak Kid? Does that now say, a Kodak Kid's got this hanging over his head that not only maybe, sure, he wants to take a title away from you, but now he may be gunning for his championship. So how do you think that impacts his judgment going into this?
I mean, I don't know if anybody's really watched the match, but it looked like Kodak was kind of went stir crazy after that match with James. Like he looked like he was going psycho out there. So I think I think the pressure is cracking, he's showing cracks of pressure. Not my fault.
No, and I'm going to put the WC links up in a second, but it's funny you said that, because I've been speaking with different people on this platform. We had a guy, D Savage, who I mentioned about being in the All Wrestling Matters tournament. We're talking about those that when they chase for the championship, then they win the title. There's all of a sudden a different pressure. We were speaking a lot about that on the show with Jacoby. Jacoby's wrestling D'Angelo, another prospective target for the All Wrestling Matters Championship. And we were saying the same thing. Okay, Jacoby, you're chasing for the title, but when you win the title, it could be very different. We're going to obviously have Atomic Titan on here Monday. He's the hardcore champion. We're going to talk about obviously guys chasing him. And We have a slew of guys coming on here tomorrow on the air. So the facts is that it's one thing to chase. And Kodak had the story. He had the story of everything what happened with him with Craven Rage. But then he was the guy that when you think about this run, right, that he had as champion, it was almost like he was pushed to the side, and maybe that got to him. Maybe that got to where, you know what, he was kind of, even though he was the world champion in WC, he was pushed to the side. Everybody was talking about you. Everybody loves Jovi, right? Craven Rage is, whether you like Craven Rage or not, he's always a lightning rod on this platform. He's always a lightning rod in this sport. Some people like him. Some people have their opinions, right? Darkfire even became, obviously a darling from WC. Nicholas Crenton's Nicholas Crenton. James Marshall's always mentioned as the measuring stick. And Kodak Kid was kind of like pushed to the back burner. Maybe some of those things got to him because when he was trying to get to that story, be the underdog and come back after everything with his career nearly being, taken away from him, maybe that got to him as champion. That's why he went a little bit stir crazy.
I would think so. It's very entirely possible. I haven't really spoken with Kodak much since that show, but I have him this weekend, and we'll see how crazy he gets because we're in a cage together. And who knows what kind of violence is going to happen when me and Kodak are in a cage this weekend.
Well, we're going to talk a lot about that tomorrow. I don't want to I don't want to give it all away because obviously we have a slew of IMF guys here. But Mr. Taylor wants to thank me for the plug. I'm going to put WCE's plug up in a second. But speaking of people, you had a few things to say about Craven Rages here, and he called Kodak Kid a choke artist. You agree with that?
I mean, he's not necessarily wrong. He did kind of choke.
So for once, Craven Rage isn't wrong?
Tom, don't make me admit that. I plead the fifth.
I was going to say, you're going to plead the fifth on us now. So.
Yep, that's what it was.
But maybe Craven Rage is onto something. Maybe he said a few days ago is going to basically bring to fruition. And that he's going to be a new Craven Rage, and everything's going to be different, and it's going to be the most and worst things we ever regret.
We'll see. Time will tell. Time will tell.
We're going to certainly tell time here. If you want to follow WC while we have a chance here, you can do that right here on YouTube. And WC is 14 subscribers away from 600. I'm surprised that WC I got to make people laugh here. So somebody, the editor, is going to kill me for this, but why do I still see Tyler Ark, the manual machinist, in there? Can we take a I have a Sharpie, right? So what I'm going to do is I have a Sharpie here. Can we take a Sharpie and just go like with his face?
I want to do like the NFL football thing where they just kind of doodle on the pad and then it circles the guy, but in this case we just X him out.
Honest is WCE still, but maybe if he's not, take the circle and color him out also, because between those two, I mean, I don't know what
just pretend they're not there.
But obviously, if you want to follow WC, there is their platforms. They are also on Facebook. We'll put that up here shortly as well. They are also on WCHeat.com. You can watch the full show here. You can watch the match between certainly Jovi and Craven Rage. You can see Catalyst and Kodak Kid. Remember, when James Marshall goes into Catalyst, Nicholas Crenton's dealt with those problems. You've seen it firsthand, and those are some things here, But obviously, as we're getting toward the end of the show, and certainly if people want to say anything else, they're welcome to join the conversation. Yep. But I think we've kind of gotten the point. What do you want to say to people that are tuning in for the first time about this announcement? What else would you like to say to the people tonight that obviously got to see this, groundbreaking thing that is going to change the face of our sport?
There was a lot of inspiration behind this, Tom. Number one, obviously, like I said, GBYWN. Rad Dad Radley Belmont. Even a phrase I heard on the tagline of Indiana Championship Wrestling when I wrestled for them. Him even spoke to me about it, of the words, give back, live the reality. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is my way of giving back to the community, and this is my way to make you live the reality of all wrestling matters.
I couldn't agree with you more. Together, we will win.
Yes, and we need to work together to create the ultimate product for underground wrestling as a whole. And like you said, we need people to actually communicate and work together here. Shove all the egos down the drain. Start working together. Start multi-booking. Do super shows. That was a huge thing back then.
I know, but IMF, and I don't want to just say, oh, he's a homer because IMF, Omen and Soldier always come on. No, but the truth is, IMF, I know they're not really a yard company anymore.
They're a big inspiration behind this.
Yes,
too.
because they
were the biggest.
Yes, and that's why I want to give them a plug for a second. I know obviously they're going to do it tomorrow, and I'm going to endorse the show. I'm going to donate a ticket, so somebody's out there. If you're a kid out there, you want to see wrestling, you go ahead, be my guest. But I really want to give them certainly a big round of applause here because they were the company on this platform that was saying, you know what, I don't care about the same old stuff. I don't care about the same old things. I want to go out there and I want to travel to places. I want to see and learn and go into WC. I want to go to XCW. I want to go to ROEW. I want to network with people like Gabe Sayers and TF Crew. I want to talk to people in TBW. They wanted to network with DBW. And
right.
And some people, again, I want to go down that road. Obviously, DBW is one of the companies I'd love to see more collaboration with different companies. But again, God bless America. It's their right to do what they want. They have a very successful product. I don't want to take away from that. They know what they're doing, and that's fine. And a lot of companies know what they're doing. AWL, I want to give them a nice little plug. They did that with D'Angelo LaFlame. They've brought in some guys that are in the indies. Fine, but to me, and Resurrection Wrestling, I think has done a very good job as well. Resurrection Wrestling is partnered with a lot of smaller promotions. They've done good with it. But I think IMF took that ball and they really ran with it, and that's why we have these shows. They went from a company, and James Taylor he has a lot of inspiration. I think he should get a lot of credit for also helping IMF, not so getting to the venues, but getting their name out on this platform. He brought Omen and Soldier and some of those guys onto his show. They came on here. Obviously, IMF credit to them with all the success that they've had. They have done it on their own. To sell 300, 400 ticket venues is on their hard work. They did that. Nobody else did that. They deserve all the credit in the world on their own. But I really think what the IMF did was they wanted to basically forget about all the rules. They were going on everybody's show. They wanted to network with people. They wanted to talk. The time that they put in away from their families, away from their things, they're, to me, a huge part of this as to why this is going on. DKW to a lesser extent, obviously IMF went up with them as well. But, I also think that James Taylor should get some credit because he allowed his platform to bring, because he was a TBW guy. James Taylor was a TBW guy, and I love TBW, but TBW is a company that they work with people, but they work with people who they would like. Again, nothing is wrong with that. They work with people that they would like to work with. But James Taylor went out there and he put on people that didn't work in the company that he worked for and brought them on his show. And that led to all the different things. Obviously, us here with WC and IMF, IMF and DKW, IMF and Anthony Steele, IMF and ROEW, IMF and XCW. So I just wanted to put that as a detour.
Oh, yeah.
And,
I owe a lot to IMF and Soldier GP and Omen in particular.
Absolutely. Those guys.
If it wasn't for me joining the foundation, I doubt this would have even been an idea.
You had a resurgence. Your career had a big resurgence. Your career really went to the next level. And, those guys, they really, again, the time that they put in, and I'm not just saying it because they come on my platform, it's Omen's show. I'm saying it because, talk to these guys, the miles that they put on. And I think that we need more people like that. But Adonis Felios and Tyler Ark are fired. They should be fired from every other wrestling company. Catalyst is good. I'm bad. And shout out to James, but I want to give James a big shout because I don't give James Marshall enough of a shout out. He's a phenomenal wrestler. He is the measuring stick. Yes, we've talked about his talking, but his wrestling does.
It speaks volumes.
So I want to make sure that I recognize him, and I want to put this out there. James Marshall, one of these days, we need to induct him in the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame because he's very worthy. If Craven Rage is in the Hall of Fame at this point, if freaking Skulls is in the Hall of Fame, we got to get James Taylor in the Hall of Fame. So, ladies and gentlemen, we got to get James Marshall in the Hall of Fame in the next month or so. Won't company egos get in the way from making superstars? But the problem is a lot of companies have their own style. They've been to storylines, they're into whatever stuff, and
Yeah.
it's what it is. I mean, at the end of the day, let's focus on the positives. The positives are Sean Jovi has certainly done something that is going to change the face of our sport as we know it. And I want to give Rad Dad a big shout out because Rad Dad was also one of the inspirations because he's one of the guys from our scene that made it. He's
Yep.
one of the guys that made it. I mean, look at what Rad Dad is doing. I mean, he's, one of those guys that's putting backyard and underground wrestling on his back. I mean, yes, we
Yeah,
love
I mean,
we love Aaron Blaze, but Rad Dad's the guy that's doing it.
it's crazy when I met Rad Dad in 2009. I actually wrestled him in a triple threat match. And that's kind of how I got to know him. Dude's phenomenal. I'm so excited that he was able to help me with this and have his own opinions with it because I really look up to that man.
I think we all should, honestly, because I think what he's done.
He is really the godfather of backyard and underground wrestling. If you guys think of me an ambassador, he was the previous ambassador.
I think he still is the ambassador.
Oh, yeah. I'm just the successor under his wing at this point, I feel like.
I think, listen, he's a champion of the 7th biggest wrestling company
oh, yeah.
in the world. The fact that he's got 2 championships, the fact that he's the guy, that made it. I mean, I know he was saying, well, I don't know if I made it. No, he made it. He
really did. He really did.
He made it. He's a pro wrestler. He's that's his job as a pro wrestler because that's what he does. He's one of the guys that truly made it. He made it and he works for a company that gets, 20, 30, 40,000 views a show. He made it. This guy made it.
Yeah, just because you're the 7th best doesn't mean you're not relevant. Like, that's really good. That's really good.
They're ahead of Ring of Honor. Yeah. They're ahead of AAA, I believe, CMML. I mean,
that's the thing. Like they may not have made it to the top of the leagues, but they're still major league players.
The fact that you're in number 7, if anything, it's like people would look at, if you're a music fan, you look at the Billboard 200. If you were number 7 on the charts, that's a major deal. They're number 7. They're number 7. He's got 2 championships with them. So
he's the workhorse, man.
He made it. Listen, and the fact that, Rad Dad is such an inspiration, that's why Rad Dad on this platform is one of really only 2 people to have ever gotten a standing ovation from me because of what he's done for this sport. He has given people, we had last time on the show before we go, we had individuals that give us a black eye. But the truth is we have people like Rad Dad that give us a great name and make us feel like that we can go out there. We can make it because of Rad Dad. What Rad Dad is doing, he's giving us hope. He's giving us inspiration. He's giving us the know-abouts and the wherewithal to go out there and say, we can do it. And it's because of what he's done. So I think to me, at the end of the day, I think all credit goes to him. And, let's hope not. But there are companies out there, there are promoters that, they do, they have what their reasons are.
Right.
So I'm going to see you tomorrow, obviously. So I'm going to save a lot of my Kodak Kid talk for tomorrow. We'll obviously have fun, I'm sure, with the All Wrestling Matters things. But I think it's time to give you the floor. Is there anything else you want to share? Anything else you want to plug? I'm going to put your social medias up here one more time for people to tune in and follow you because people are still in and out. But Sean Jovi, the resident rock star, for those that are listening and watching on Sportswire Radio, I turn it over to you. I pass the baton to you on this historic night. This was a celebration, the celebration of this sport officially now being permanently, not just a hashtag, but permanently being recognized for something of value in All Wrestling Matters. And what would you like to say as your final thoughts tonight?
Final thoughts include me thanking everyone who tuned in, everyone who's been a part of wrestling history for the backyard underground scene. Without you guys, we wouldn't be where we're at now. And heck, there might not even be a me or this. So thank you so much. Be sure to check out my YouTube channel, of course, at Sean Jovi. I will be releasing a vlog immediately following this broadcast. So if you want to hop on over to my channel and check it out, feel free. I have an
check out his podcast, and I really owe you, Mr. Jovi, to watch these podcasts because you've been killing me. I promise you, I will watch one later. Okay. I should be watching these because
you should watch the next one, Tom, because your character has gotten so insane on that game. I don't know how, and so is our champion, Mr. James Taylor. You are both undefeated. You both have titles. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to do that on my next podcast and eat popcorn too. James Taylor versus Tom Bryce for both titles. The intergalactic
How
one
much
that
did
you
I pay you
hold.
for? How much did I pay you for this?
I mean, this isn't in a virtual world, man.
I
I just
know.
made your
No.
character, but no, you and James Taylor are gonna fight for the title, both titles,
Oh wow.
on the next podcast. Because I'm like, I need to know who's the most broken character I've made in this game.
Well, James, I admittedly am not. I just haven't gamed in so long because I've been doing this. But James is a far better gamer. As a matter of fact, James has been doing his own streaming. He does a lot of. He's doing the new Tekken games, and he's a really good gamer. I'm unfortunately my gaming days are probably past me at this point. Yeah, definitely check all those out. You know, definitely.
Oh yeah, I stream once a week, usually on Thursdays. Sometimes
I see
Tuesdays.
that. Yeah. I try my best to certain people. I try not to interfere with their shows. Obviously, this Thursday we have the IMF show, so that's one of those that we have to plug it on Sportswire.
Tom,
yep.
I would like you to be on a podcast with me sometime.
All right, definitely.
If you ever have a day,
how about next month? Next month,
okay.
I promise you next month. I got to get through this month, but definitely next month.
Definitely, anytime, man. You're welcome.
You're
welcome to join the fun.
I get invited in a lot of podcasts, but I can assure you that next month I will make that happen. And yes, Remy, good night, Remy. Hope to meet you on this platform and see more of you in XCW. And
see you soon, good friend.
You have it, is our ambassador of All Wrestling Matters. And you can follow Mr. Jovi one more time on all those platforms. We let him go do his own show now, so we're going to check that out. I'm going to post a clip of the announcement here shortly as well. So, my friend,
new Jovi's vlog.
Formally congratulate you. I am still going to congratulate you of certainly breaking the norm and doing something that's really, again, revolutionary, groundbreaking. You've certainly took that term, that hashtag, All Wrestling Matters, and made it into your own, something special for all of us here in the community to latch on and believe in. I thank you so much for that. Thank you for being our rock star. Thank you for being one of our greatest people to have ever come on this platform. Thank you for being family. Thank you for being one of the greatest Hall of Famers we've had. I can't wait to see you tomorrow. I can't wait to see you in action on Saturday. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Sean Jovi has announced that we are going to see at Bremen, Ohio from July 5th to 7th. At DKW and IMF's presenting Summer Bash, their show, which is basically to give you the best, the very best in the underground and backyard and independent wrestling, that we will crown the first ever World's Underground All Wrestling Matters champion. And Sean Jovi created that belt, and we're going to see who enters in it. Stay tuned for this platform for more details, and also on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook for the IMF and DKW pages. And until then, my name is the Reverend Tom Bryce, your voice of all wrestling, where all wrestling matters. Figuratively and now literally. If you're on sportswireradio.org, you're going to go back to your regularly scheduled programming. If you're also on YouTube and you haven't yet hit that sub button for me for the first time, also Sean Jovi, follow him on all those platforms. And I'll be back here tomorrow around 9:45 p.m. Eastern time with a slew of guys who are going to be in the IMF Rage in the Gauge and page. And yes, I definitely, let's talk about that, definitely. And we're going to figure it out maybe in the next month. I know I have Miano Diaz next Friday, and I'm going to try to get Julian Void Jacobs, but stay tuned for those details. But until then, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are on the number one global radio station that is Sportswire Radio, where now we can officially say all wrestling matters. And yeah.